Welcome back. The annual National Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association will hold this week in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, at the end of which Mr. Alege will hand over to Mr. Abubakar Mahmood, SAN. One of the issues which the new leadership of the bar has to prevail on the bench to be more proactive about is this issue of conflicting judgments from judges on the same level in the judicial hierarchy. The PDP leadership crisis, which began about 5 months ago, is one that has consistently exposed the judiciary to public ridicule. In this next report, we chronicle all the court judgments on the matter.
It all started in Lagos in May this year, when two justices of the Federal High Court, Justice Mohammed Idris and Justice Ibrahim Buba, barred the People's Democratic Party from going ahead with the planned convention, which was then scheduled for the 21st of May in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The first case before Justice Idris was filed by two chieftains of the party, Honorable Kamal Olaronje and Jide Ladeinde, who sued for themselves and on behalf of the Lagos State Executive Committee of the party. There had been a leadership crisis in the PDP, and Justice Idris ordered members not to take any action that would void the court proceedings on the issue of the party's parallel convention. In the second suit filed in Lagos by Senator Ali Modu Sheriff and some others to determine their tenure of office, Justice Buba ordered parties to maintain status quo and subsequently barred the PDP from going ahead with the planned May 21 convention. In spite of a two-court judgment barring the convention, the PDP leadership went on with the convention and appointed a caretaker committee headed by a former governor of Kaduna State, Senator Ahmed Makarfi, to run their affairs. The court in Lagos condemned this action, and Justice Buba specifically declared that the committee was illegal. The judge also warned the Makarfi committee not to act in defiance of his order. Instead of appealing this judgment, the PDP and the caretaker committee went before another judge of the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, presided over by Justice Abdullahi Liman. Justice Liman made an ex parte order in favor of the caretaker committee and asked INEC to recognize it. Justice Liman also restrained Senator Ali Modu Sheriff and the others from parading themselves as officials of the PDP. Yet another judge came into the matter. In June, a Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Apo and presided over by Justice Valentine Ashi nullified the purported amendment of the PDP constitution by which Senator Ali Modu Sheriff laid claims to the post of national chairman of the party. With that judgment, the court sacked Senator Ali Modu Sheriff. A day after Justice Ashi's pronouncement, another FCT High Court presided over by Justice Hussein Baba dismissed another suit filed by Senator Ali Modu Sheriff seeking to be declared the authentic chairman of the PDP. The judge struck out the case after holding that Senator Sheriff did not seek the consent of the plaintiffs before joining them in the suit. But about the same time, specifically on the 1st of July, Justice Okonabang of the Federal High Court Abuja, relying on the judgments of the court in Lagos, held that Senator Ali Modu Sheriff remained the authentic chairman of the party, as those judgments had not been set aside. Justice Abang also ordered INEC to recognize the governorship candidates from Senator Sheriff's faction for the Edo and Ondo governorship primaries. That same July, specifically on the 4th, Abdullahi Liman, sitting in Port Harcourt, confirmed his earlier ex parte order in favor of Senator Makarfi's caretaker committee. The court also declared that the May 21, 2016 National Convention of the PDP was duly constituted and the decisions taken were valid. The Sheriff faction has filed an appeal against this particular judgment, and that appeal is still pending. But this was not the end of the conflicting judgment, as Justice Abang last week Tuesday ordered the suspension of the new convention scheduled to hold last Wednesday. In very strong language, Justice Abang held that any party or person who fails to comply with his judgment will have himself to blame. Justice Abang also took a swipe at his colleague sitting in the Port Harcourt division of the court, Justice Ibrahim Watila, who had earlier on the same day given his approval for the convention to hold on Wednesday with a specific order for INEC to monitor the convention. The contradictory court orders came less than 24 hours to the planned national convention. The People's Democratic Party has, however, claimed that it has gone ahead with the convention, and at that convention, it extended the tenure of Senator Makarfi's committee by 1 year.
If you are in support of the motion to ratify the extension of the tenure of the National Caretaker Committee within 12 months. Say aye. Aye.
While lawyers strenuously argue in favor or against the contradictory judgment, another FCT High Court sitting in Abuja has reaffirmed the sack of Senator Ali Modu Sheriff. Justice Nwamaka Ogbonnaya held that the judgment of Justice Valentine Ashi on the same issue has not been set aside. With all these conflicting judgments from court on the same level, many believe that the leadership of the bench needs to do some house cleaning and halt the division and the tension which the court judgments are causing.
And that's how we end today's edition of the program. If you missed any part of it, you can find it in past episodes on our YouTube channel. Do also give us feedback via any of our social media platforms. I'm Shola Shayeli. Thank you for watching.